4:30 kickoff on this Sunday. It's 1-1 between Wolves and Leicester City. An exciting game which started very well for Wolves, taking the lead inside the first 10 minutes through Ruben Neves, but then slowly but surely Leicester City started to recover, and by the end of the half you would say that Leicester City were the stronger side. They got their equaliser through Ademola Lookman. We're underway now in the second half. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz and Si Barlow taking you through the action. Si, it's anybody's game now really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The way that first half was going, Leicester had all the momentum behind them, wouldn't have wanted half time to come. Probably was a good thing for Wolves. They can get in and just try and take stock of what happened there in the first half, because they had control. First 20-25 minutes I thought Wolves were asking all the questions, mainly from crosses into the penalty area, and then Leicester just took over possession really, and Wolves weren't dangerous anymore.
Certainly not. And long ball now played for Patson Daka as a chase, but Conor Cody will get there first. Just remind you of the two sides very quickly. Jose Sarr is in goal for Wolves. Back three of Max Kilman, Conor Cody and Romain Saiz. The two wide men are Nelson Semedo and Ryan Ait-Nouri. Three in midfield, Ruben Neves, Leander Dendoncker and João Moutinho, with Raul Jimenez and Daniel Podence as the two up front. For Leicester City, Kasper Schmichael in goal. A back four of Ricardo Pereira, Daniel Amate, Kaglar Sionchu and Luke Thomas. Three in midfield, Yuri Tielemans, Wilfred Ndidi and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, with Ademola Lookman, Marco Brighton and Patson Daka as the three up front. It's with Conor Cody at the edge of his own penalty area, rolls it to Romain Saiz. Risky ball from him, picked off by Ricardo Pereira, and here comes all Brighton now down the right hand side. Podence and Ait-Nouri are back there to try and stop him, so he checks back and goes towards the halfway line here for Daniel Amate. Under pressure there from João Moutinho, but you can see both sets of players really busy to try and get into this second half. Ball deflects out and it's a throw to Leicester down the right hand side.
Yeah, bright start to the second period for Leicester as well. Pressing down the right hand side, all Brighton, with Pereira backing him up really strongly, so he puts the pressure on and then Pereira's there to snap up the loose ball, which he's forced by his pressure. It's really good signs there for Leicester. I still feel as though Leicester's central defenders will make an error that could turn this game back in Wolves' favour, because they're just not as solid as the Wolves' back three. Well,
that's why Leicester need to be up the other end as much as they can to avoid those two centre-backs, as you mentioned, as Pereira goes down off the challenge of Romain Saiz, and referee Craig Pawson making a decision that will be a free kick to the visitors. Bright start this for Leicester City. Chance to try and get players into the box here as well, as Pereira just goes back into a more central position. Just trying to find the right position here for this free kick. Right-footed Tielemans and left-footed Dewsbury-Hall stood over this one. Wolves are set up pretty much level with the penalty spot in terms of their offside line. And it's going to be the left foot of Dewsbury-Hall. Whips it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Always a bit too much height and always too close to the goalkeeper in the end, and a comfortable save.
Yeah, it was a good claim from Sarr. Ball's come a long way. Goalkeeper really should be coming for those, and he just really clear with his call, and he's got safe hands over his head to pluck that one out of the air. And just such a centre-backs love that, a goalkeeper who comes for crosses, who's clear with his shouts there, and as soon as that left the boot of the Leicester player, Sarr was coming.
Sarr was out and they're comfortably clear. Now here come Wolves trying to play out through midfield with Podence. He's taken out by Tielemans. And that's probably going to be a throw, although certainly a couple of the Wolves players were unhappy with that challenge. Was just getting a little bit physical at times in the first half. And we can see England assistant manager Steve Holland, and the TV pictures we're getting were panning to him and to Kilman as well. So potentially, you made the point, Si, that he's a very promising young defender. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second. But here come Leicester now down the left with Thomas. He leaves the ball here for Lookman. Lookman finds Dewsbury-Hall. It's all at the left-hand edge of the Wolves penalty area. Thomas now forced to just go back a little bit, but Dewsbury-Hall's moved into some space. Here is Lookman now, trying to break into the penalty area. Ruben Neves is there covering. Ball played back towards Wilfred Ndidi. He's about 35, maybe 40 yards out. Goes over towards the right-hand side for Pereira. He then finds Tielemans, whose attempted cross into the box deflects off João Moutinho, and then Neves tries to hook it away, but that's headed forward by Ndidi. Wolves just can't quite get the ball away from their own half. Ait-Nouri now under pressure from two Wolves players, and I think has that been given as a free kick? Well, Pereira thought that he'd committed a foul. He actually stopped play, but referee didn't whistle, so we play on. It's Leicester in possession at the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Pereira now gets away from Ait-Nouri, breaks into the penalty, tries a shot himself. It deflects off Romain Saiz, and it's away for a corner. But that was a strange moment. It seemed as though Pereira actually thought as though he'd committed a foul and stopped, and then just carried on.
Yeah, it was strange. Maybe there was a whistle in the crowd. We're not party to all the sound effects. He was actually appealing for a penalty there, wasn't he? Because he drove his shot into Saiz's arm, and Saiz's hand was up. It was away from the silhouette of his body, but it was so close to him. I think that would have been a harsh penalty to give.
I think so, and VAR would have had a moment or two just to check that now as well. Whilst we wait for this corner, it's going to be an outswinger here from Lookman, although Tielemans is there for the short ball, and that's where it's gone. A bit overhit there from Lookman. Tielemans almost miscontrolled that, but it's played back to Pereira. He then puts a cross in, aimed at Marte, who was inside the 6-yard box. It's headed away, attempted volley there from Sionchu. He misses that. Dewsbury Hall tries to keep the ball alive, gets away from Dendoncker, who slides in. Both sets of players saying it's our ball. And I think in the end it has been given as a corner, even though Dewsbury Hall initially, from his facial expression, thought the decision had gone against him.
I was going to say, I thought Dewsbury Hall shouted the loudest, but then I saw Dendoncker, who was bellowing into the ear of Craig Pawson. So I think both players were passionately debating the whys and wherefores. He's come off Dendoncker.
He has come off Dendoncker, yeah. Absolutely. And Dewsbury Hall, I did like that, though. He actually apologised to the referee at the end of that, because I think he started shouting at the ref until he realised the decision was in his favour. But the corner kick from Tielemans, he had the same problem in the first half with his in-swinging corners. He aims at the near post, but it's sort of knee height, and that was chested away by Nelson Semedo. It's another corner kick. It's taken short, and now it's whipped in by Tielemans straight onto the head of Ndidi. But that's catching practice for Jose Sarr. The header straight at him, and it's a long clearance from Jose Sarr to pick out Daniel Podence, who tries to get away from his fellow compatriot Ricardo Pereira. Podence now just checks his run, but Pereira, too experienced for that, puts it out for a throw. Yeah,
it was good play from... again, a couple of Portuguese players there, wasn't there? In fact, all three Portuguese players involved in that. Here's Ait Nouri on the advance for Wolves.
Yeah, it's still got a good pace to this game. We were both worried that because of the half-time interval, just when the game seemed to be bubbling under nicely, but now both sets of players have come back out in the second half with a lot of intent. And I certainly think there'll be more goals in this game. We're at 52 minutes now. Independent off-tube studio commentary. It is Wolves 1, Leicester City 1. And it was Leeds United 2, Manchester United 4 in the earlier game in the Premier League today. And so we can see again, this is just a bit of a break in play now, so they're giving us another replay of that Wolves chance. It's a great long clearance this from Jose Sarr. It's a pass, basically. He's just punted it rather than kicking it from the ground, and then he's managed to find Daniel Podence. But a good play there from Ricardo Pereira. But here come Wolves now, although João Moutinho runs straight into Wilfred Ndidi. And the ball now back with Kasper Schmeichel. Looks up and then just plays the ball over to Sionchu. As Wolves trying to press. Leicester, though, be damned if they're going to clear it long. They want to try and play out from the back, keep possession here. As Ndidi finds Lookman. It was potentially a foul there from Moutinho. Referee allows play to go on as Pereira now has the ball for the visitors. Finds Albrighton. Daka is waiting at the edge of the D, but there's a lot of traffic in between him and where the ball is. Now Pereira tries to run down the right-hand side. Remains Saiss is able to then clear the ball off him. Well, he certainly did. I mean, Saiss is furious there. And I don't blame him. To me, I thought that was obviously a throw to Wolves there at the edge of their own penalty area. And the linesman is just telling Saiss to calm down. But from this, certainly looking at it live, it looked to me like it was clear that Saiss had played the ball off the Leicester man. Yeah, he did.
Yep. Sometimes linesmen get things wrong, and that is not a VAR reviewable decision. Saiss just got to accept it. At least the decision has been reversed.
It has been reversed in the end, yeah, and I think that's probably why the linesman was just trying to tell Saiss to calm down. But I suppose from Wolves' point of view, a throw onto Leicester level with the edge of their own box could actually be turned into something quite dangerous, whereas they would have been quite clear. Although in the end, Wolves had 3 or 4 passes before they tried to play it long, and they lose the ball anyway.
Well, we saw it from Dendoncker before. There's frustration with decisions in this match, and I generally don't think they have any right to be frustrated. Maybe just Wolves think if they shout the loudest, they're going to get more decisions going their way.
Well, it's a trait of all footballers, isn't it, that they're always going to try and appeal every decision just in case it might swing the officials in their favour. But here come Leicester City now. Dewsbury Hall to Tielemans, edge of the penalty area. Daka now plays it back towards Ricardo Pereira. Wolves still trying to keep their line as high as they can as Albrighton skips away from Ait Nouri. Finds Daka. Albrighton carries on his run, but that's a good covering challenge from Saiss. Puts it out for a throw.
Yeah, they're all good defenders back there for Wolves. They were caught out by that brilliant ball from Tielemans for the equaliser for Leicester City. But, by and large, it's hard to get behind this Wolves defence. They're very well marshalled and well drilled.
They are, and Leicester trying to get forward again here now with Wilfred Ndidi under pressure from Jimenez. We've not seen as much of in this game compared to, say, Daniel Podence. Of course, he's more of a live wire. He can play almost as a number. He is a number 10. He's got the number 10 on his shirt. He can play out wide, whereas Jimenez does need that service through the middle. not found their number 9 too many times this afternoon, the Wolves players. And meanwhile, it's Hwang Hee-chan, the Korean forward. He's getting ready to come on. So this may well be for Jimenez.
Yeah, it might well be. He's been fairly ineffectual. Hwang Hee-chan has been a real find for Wolves. He's arguably been, their best forward player all season. And, to see him come off the bench will give everyone a lift, I think, at Molineux.
Certainly will, as we've got this free kick for Leicester City now. It's on the right-hand side. Dewsbury Hall leaves it for Tielemans. Again, it's too low from Tielemans. This is becoming a theme in this game from the Belgian. The ball easily cleared back into midfield, and then Luke Thomas. Boy, they can't get it right, Leicester. It was Tielemans' ball was far too low and under-hit, and then Thomas overhits his ball, and it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it, where you obviously practice set pieces in the week, and on the day of the game, if the guy who's in charge of them is not, connecting well with the ball, or it's not quite got his eye in, then it can look as though you've not been practicing them. But I'm sure they have.
Absolutely, it's just one of those where under the pressure, crucible atmosphere that you get at these grounds, it's always going to be just that little bit more pressure, the more chance of perhaps a mistake creeping in. But here come Leicester City again. They're starting to get a bit more possession now as the ball does get through to Daka. It was Ricardo Pereira's ball into the box. It got a slight deflection, which still allowed Patson Daka to get on the end of it, but he was a right footer shooting from the right-hand side. The angles were against him, really. Yeah,
he's quick, isn't he, Daka? And that showed his pace in the first few yards there as he broke onto a relatively loose ball and got his shot away before Cody could get across. I mean, Cody's not the quickest defender, and they like to play a 3 there because they're trying to minimise the one-on-one situations that Cody would get involved in. But when he was one-on-one there with Patson Daka, there was only one winner.
Absolutely. Well, Patson Daka has 4 goals in the Premier League this season. He also scored 4 in one game for Leicester in the Europa League away at Spartak Moscow in that amazing 4-3 win that they had earlier this season. But here come Wolves now with a chance to get forward. There's an offside flag, though. Nelson Semedo just crept a little bit too far forward as he went for that header. Linesman spots that straight away, and this is a good chance now for Leicester. We've had 14 minutes in this second half, so I would say that Leicester are probably shading it in terms of the possession and the chances.
Very positive move here coming from the Wolves bench, though. Bruno Lage has gone for Hwang Hee-chan on for João Moutinho, so it's a forward player, an attacker for a midfielder.
Absolutely. Does that mean that perhaps Podence will be asked to sit a little bit behind the front two, potentially?
Yeah, I think so. He could do that, though, can't he? I mean, he's good at knitting the play together as well as what he has been doing, which is running the channels in this game. So we're just going to see a different facet of what Podence can do.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he's sort of moved over to the right just as Leicester are taking this goal kick, and Jimenez still playing through the middle. Chang seems to have gone over to the left, so it may well be that it's a 3 up front now for Wolves for the remainder of this game. As Leicester go forward now, Luke Thomas has his run stopped. It's a throw to the Foxes, taken quickly. Here's Dewsbury Hall, finds Lookman, who shapes for the shot, drops a shoulder, gets away from Kilman, and then goes for the shot. I just wonder maybe if he should have had the effort straight away when the Wolves' defence were less set, but the strike in the end is straight at Jose Sarr.
Yeah, he's tricky, isn't he, Lookman? He gets the ball, he sizes up the opportunity, dribbles at the Wolves' defence. I mean, Cody's backing off him there, and the shot does come in, but it was a fairly comfortable save for Jose Sarr in the end.
It was in the end as Amarte now stops the run. So we can see the stats are bearing it out now. Wolves haven't had a shot on goal in the second half, and they've only had 34% possession. So Leicester City really are starting to dominate now. We've had nearly 15 minutes. But the scoreline still remains the same from the first half. It's still 1-1 as a throw now from Ait Nouri finds Raul Jimenez. He's trying to get away from Ricardo Pereira, and Amarte is getting involved there as well. Amarte slides in and wins his side the throw. Though Raul Jimenez is furious. He actually drops to his knees in frustration that throw wasn't given to him. But referee and linesman won't be changing their mind on this occasion. It is going to be a throw to Leicester City. The rain has stopped over Molineux, as though it's still quite windy. We can see that from the corner flags as Ricardo Pereira's throat goes straight through towards Connor Cody on the halfway line. He goes back towards Max Kilman. Now, I can ask you, do you think that Max Kilman is on the verge potentially of an England call-up? We did see Steve Holland and sort of being shown us at the same time as Kilman was on the field as well.
Yeah, absolutely. These friendlies coming up for England are the ideal opportunity to blood players to have a look at what they can do. The worry about Kilman is he's only ever seen him in a 3. He doesn't know what he can do maybe in a back 4 as just one of 2 central defenders. But unless you pick him, I mean, Wolves aren't going to swap the way they play just to allow England to have a look at him in a 3. So you got to see what he can do.
Absolutely, and that said, the captain Conor Cody has got into the England squad, albeit hasn't really been able to bed down a first team place, but certainly did get his call up. But now we've got a free kick to Wolves in a very dangerous position, with Ruben Neves in the last 4 seasons has had 7 goals from outside the box in these sorts of positions, so it really is his sort of territory. Kasper Schmichael has just moved over slightly to his left, so he's perhaps encouraging the shot over the wall. Neves goes over the wall, but he also goes over the bar. Never looked like dipping, really, that one.
No, it didn't. It's funny, isn't it? You know, players who hit great balls in open play when the ball's moving, not so good when the ball's static. You think it would be easy to hit a static ball, but some players need the ball moving towards them or moving across their body to get that, the timing right. And I think he's one of them. I think he wouldn't be on set pieces for me, although he's good at hitting the ball. He needs it to be moving.
I think so, but of course the natural free kick taker in that situation, there, João Moutinho, has just gone off as well.
Yeah.
I think he probably would have been looking at that free kick had he still remained on the field. But Leicester making a bit of a mess of playing out from the back. Indeed, he was almost dispossessed. Thomas is stopped down the left-hand side, but it is going to be a throw to Leicester City. Played back now towards Saglar Sionchu. Square to Marte, pressing here from Raul Jimenez. Just looking at the bench for Wolves, they have brought on Chang. They've still got Totti, Johnny Castro, Pedro Neto, Fernando Mercal, Kundal, Trincao, Fabio Silva and John Ruddy on their bench. I'll do the Leicester one in a second because the Foxes are on the attack now with Lookman. He plays the ball to the edge of the area. It drops to Tielemans, who tries it with the left foot, just lifts it over the bar. Sort of puts his head in his hands. He knows that was a good opportunity. Brendan Rodgers and his coach is applauding on the touchline there, but it's just over.
Yeah, great chance there. Well worked again. Daka, lovely quick ball out towards Lookman. Gets his head up, puts the ball back into a teammate, picking out a player rather than just putting it into an area. And Tielemans got to do better, really. He's on his left foot. You can understand he's not perhaps as confident on that side as he is on his right, but at least worked the keeper there and he's put it over the bar.
Brendan Rodgers, I think, was from his angle, because that ball hit the stanchion post behind the goal and the net ruffled a little bit. Brendan Rodgers actually had his hands up celebrating a goal for a split second before, no doubt, a few of the Molineux fans behind him let him know that it wasn't a goal. But the Leicester bench, as I mentioned, it's Mendy, Madison, Jose Perez, Chowdhury, Sumare, Vestergaard, Ihancho, and they've got 2 keepers as well in Jakupovic and Ward. So options there for Brendan Rodgers in terms of how he wants to spice up his attack if he feels the need to. It is Leicester City in possession on the halfway line now with Amarte.
You talk about Steve Holland watching Kilman in this game, but I think one of the outstanding players has been Lookman. I know he's obviously been capped by England at under 21 level. Nigeria have been interested in.
I think he's now chosen Nigeria.
Well, he's twice rejected Nigeria, but he has now been approved to switch allegiances to Nigeria, but they haven't picked him yet. They've got World Cup qualifiers coming up. I just wonder whether Holland, looking at this game, will say, look, we've got to get this guy capped before Nigeria do.
There's an option, of course. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other players potentially. I mean, as I say, Cody is on the fringes of the England squad. Potentially, Dewsbury Hall has been getting a bit more action, but I think it's far too early for him. So potentially, they could be that. They could well be looking at that option. You can never have too many options in an England squad, of course. We're less than a year away from the World Cup now. It's going to be early December, mid-December. So it's about 9-10 months away from this Qatari World Cup. But Leicester City have won themselves a corner kick in the meantime. Ball whipped in there by Albrighton. It's indeed, he does get his head to it, but he couldn't direct it towards goal. It actually goes off the head of another Wolves player and out for a Leicester throw down the right-hand side. But Sionchu will leave this one for Ricardo Pereira. Still a few players from Leicester up from this previous corner kick. We can see a couple of Wolves players warming up, including Pedro Neto. Another attacking option that Bruno Lage does have on his bench. Throw on for Leicester, taken back to Amarte. Wolves are pressing, and that's a just clumsy challenge there from Raul Jimenez. And he can't believe it, but I think that was a pretty obvious foul.
Yeah, control. I mean, he doesn't go to ground or put in a dangerous challenge, but he's just sort of dangling a leg there, really. So he can't have too many complaints. But they are starting to fret a little bit, Wolves. They're making these challenges and they're giving away free kicks in their own half.
They are. It just seems like they haven't really... Just as I say that, a great chance here for Leicester. A ball put in, a deep cross put in from the right-hand side. But credit to Nelson Semedo because he watched that cross from Tielemans all the way and made sure the ball got back to the goalkeeper before Lookman could get on the end of it.
Yeah, he's influencing the game, isn't he? Tielemans gets on the ball, has the first thought. Oh, there's a chance here for Leicester.
Wolves have given the ball away, playing out from the back, and all Brighton breaking into the penalty area just as he tried to get his shot away. He is charged down by Conor Cody, and now Wolves trying to break out here with Ait Nouri down the left-hand side. Leaves the ball now for Chan. Chang now has to just check his run and go back towards the halfway line here for Ruben Neves. Ball then goes across towards Max Kilman, under pressure there from Lookman, but he strides away from him confidently and then plays the ball over the top, looking for Ait Nouri, who's going to be onside. Needs some support inside the penalty area now. He skips away from Pereira. Ait Nouri heading towards the 6-yard box, holds it up, then leaves it for Dendoncker. Dendoncker then squares it to Podence. Podence hits it low, and it's a fantastic finish from Daniel Podence. It's in the back of the net. Leicester City are saying that there was an offside, potentially somebody obstructing Kasper Schmeichel's view in an offside position. It'll be a shame for Podence because it was a great strike into the bottom corner.
This is a tricky one. Schmeichel does this a lot. Schmeichel is always quick off his... when he's been beaten from the edge of the box, he wants to get goals disallowed because he feels some movement ahead of him has disrupted him, and he's quick to get onto the referee for that. Doesn't always go his way, though, and I wonder if maybe he's just trying to pull the referee's wool over his eyes there. Was it Jimenez? Jimenez is offside.
Jimenez is offside. But the ball goes past him. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if VAR. No,
he's not in his way. He's trying to pull the wool over the referee's eyes, which he's done before, Schmeichel. And I don't think he's in his way at all.
Well, he's not. But then he's sort of slightly obstructing Podence as the strike comes in. It's a difficult one, but then it's going away from Jimenez. He doesn't have to do anything to avoid the ball hitting him. So, I mean, then we are now getting the purple VAR screens. And it's no surprise because he is in an offside position. But that camera angle we've just seen there, Simon, I think is going to confirm this goal is going to be given, surely.
Surely.
It has been.
Yeah.
It has been. That last angle we saw was just sort of slightly from the right-hand side. And it showed that Jimenez was always running away from Schmeichel. He wasn't actually in his field of view at all. And it's a great strike from Daniel Podence out of nowhere with Wolves pretty much on the back foot.
Yeah, lovely clean hit from the Portuguese. Lookman trying to get there, but he's not in time. And it's a fantastic sort of strike across the keeper into the far corner. Schmeichel unable to cover it. And, Wolves, having been under the cosh for a little bit just before and just after half-time, have pulled it back ahead. Yeah,
this is Podence's first goal in over a year. December 2020 was the last time he got a Premier League goal.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it's been so long.
I'm surprised by that as well. It just shows that he's perhaps not been getting into those attacking positions. And he's not really been able to sort of... I mean, this season he's had a few more starts, but certainly under Espirito Santo he was used more as a sub. I think with Jota leaving, actually, he started to get a little bit more game time. But it's back to square one for Leicester City, who actually looked the better side towards the end of the first half when they got their equaliser. The stats bore out that they were having a much better second half, but now they find themselves 2-1 down.
Yeah, and Rodgers was celebrating what he thought was not the winning goal, but the goal that took his team ahead from Tielemans when he put it over the bar, and then his team have gone behind. He's got options on the bench that he could turn to. I think, is that James Maddison?
It is. Maddison's an option. Jose Perez is an option. Kelechi Iheanacho is another option as well in terms of attacking play. Free kick to Leicester City from a long way out, and that's far too close to Jose Sarr. Catching practice for the Wolves keeper. We're at 68 minutes in this game. It is Wolves 2, Leicester 1, and it will be side to take us through to full time.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. It's a good one, isn't it? Seen a couple of good games in the Premier League today. And this one is still one that could go either way in these final 22 minutes. Goal scorer Podence knocks it back to Kilman, finding Neves in midfield. Leicester trying to force a mistake. They're pushing for a bit of a press here. Rodgers is talking to Maddison and Iheanacho on the sideline there, as if he's got a double change up his sleeve. Leicester have won it back here through Thomas. The left back knocks it backwards, though, to the halfway line, and Didi between it's Amati actually, who plays it square to Ricardo. Now to Tielemans, who burst past Dendoncker. Dendoncker dragging him back by the collar there, and that's going to be a yellow card. And he's got to be careful, Dendoncker. Nope, that's the yellow card coming out for him.
It is. I mean, this Craig Pawson hasn't been too lenient today at all. He's not given players more than a single chance. We've seen a couple of players booking after their first foul, and Dendoncker there, all he wants to do is stop Tielemans. There's no attempt to play the ball at all.
Yeah, so the Belgian goes into the book. 20 minutes to go, just a bit more than. And Tielemans is picking out some nice little... Well, they're finding him in some little pockets, aren't they? Particularly over to this right-hand side. Here's the free kick from Albrighton. So they have switched free kick taker there. Tielemans was replaced by Albrighton, but again, same delivery, or same outcome, straight into the hands of Jose Sarr. There's
been too many of those. Leicester have got some very good set-piece takers, but they're giving... Sarr takes harder crosses than that when he's doing his warm-up, and now Den Donker's made a real mess of that. He's been just scooped a ball out and given Leicester a throw level with the edge of his own box.
Yeah. I think he might be due to go off next for Wolves, Den Donker. He's on a yellow card now. He's not a great defensive midfielder. Anyway, it's throw into Leicester.
Well, they do have the option of Lee Condell, who's played a couple of games for Wolves. The young English midfielder, youth player. I think that potentially might be thinking about him towards the end of the game as well.
Yeah, he got an assist, didn't he? I think the other day as well for Wolves. There's Ndidi in the penalty area, trying to cut it back, still going as eventually Den Donker gets a clearance in. It's going to fall to Soyuncu midway inside the Wolves half. Quick ball out towards Dewsbury Hall, turns away from Podence, and now faces up the edge of the penalty area. Quite slight miscommunication there with Lookman, but he's managed to get the ball to his colleague, who's been forced away by Semedo. Nice little ball back into Dewsbury Hall, who turns, falls in a heap, and wins a free kick for Leicester. And surely... Oh, they've taken it quickly. I was going to say... no.
The referee's done him a favour there,
referee's now. I'm surely, having seen Tielemans and Albrighton waste the last two free kicks from wide areas, they've got to get this delivery right now.
Well, Dewsbury Hall is standing over it. Doesn't look like he's going to have anybody else. Brighton is there as well. And referee Craig Paulson making the point that they need to wait for the whistle, which on this occasion actually did Leicester a favour, because I think they were going to take it that quickly, then Wolves probably could have cleared it straight away.
So, free kick to Leicester, 2 over it. Dewsbury Hall the right-footed option, Dewsbury Hall the left-footed option, Albrighton the right-footed option, and Dewsbury Hall takes it, puts it into the box, good delivery, headed away in the 6-yard box by Seiss. Comes back towards Tielemans, down the line to Daka, instantly challenged though by Den Donker and out for a throw. So is there movement on the Foxes bench now? Not yet. Into the final 20 minutes, and they still haven't made their switches. Ricardo's come across to take the throw from just level with the edge of the Wolves penalty area. He's still not let go of the ball. Now he finds Tielemans, gets it back now, the Portuguese, but plays a rather risky ball back to Amati. He goes back to Soyuncu. High hanging ball aimed towards the edge of the penalty area. Lookman's offside. He knows he can't go for it, and that allows Semedo free possession to collect, bring it down, and play it inside to Kilman. Now Neves, that's a risky one. He got underneath that one. And
Wolves are still nervous inside. The 2 or 3 times that on this occasion it was Neves. Previously it was Den Donker. The referee has actually given, I think, a free kick there. They're saying that Semedo has tried to handle that as it was going out of play. A double change now for Leicester. Maddison and Iheanacho.
Yeah, it's the double change. I'm puzzled by the Semedo handball. I mean, if he's gone with his hand, it's deliberate handball. I mean, the way that Paulson's refereed today, that would be a yellow card as well, but I think he's got away with it. Patson Daka comes off. Probably, I would say, the games I've seen him in the Premier League, that's been his least effectual performance.
Yeah, it just seemed, everything just seemed to sort of pass him by. In the first half, you could forgive it almost because Leicester had so little of the ball in attack. But in the second half, they've been the dominant side, and he's still not really been too visible. And this is just changing a solid defensive midfielder, Wilfred Ndidi, for James Maddison, just to give Leicester a little bit more creativity, and he might go across and take this free kick straight away.
Yeah, of course, they've had their troubles with set pieces today, and Maddison can deliver a good one, but he's not going to take this one. Instead, it's coming from Dewsbury Hall again. High to the back post. Lookman's underneath it. It's gone over his head, though.
They can't get it right, Leicester. It's either under-hit, over-hit, too long, too short, and on this occasion, Dewsbury Hall shakes his head because he knows that's another set piece that's gone a begging there.
Yeah. Again, probably the set piece carousel will turn to somebody else for the next one. And it's a sign, isn't it, of a team who are in the position that Leicester are, really. You know, the season has gone sour a little bit, and you know, even on set pieces, they still can't find the right formula. Now's a foul by Maddison, who just come onto the field and has brought down a Wolves midfielder there.
Yeah, Maddison, he's not going to get a booking for that, but Wolves, again, they're going towards their own keeper. Plenty of pressing here from Leicester. They're trying to stop Wolves getting across the halfway line, and they've managed it again.
Yeah, Leicester have won it back. Maddison... beg your pardon, Dewsbury Hall falls over the ball. His first touch has been a bit dodgy today, hasn't it, Dewsbury Hall? He seems like he needs about 3 touches to get it under control.
Yeah, it may well be that it's just a little bit slippery, but obviously it's the same for all the players. He just seems to be a little bit off with that today. Leicester, though, still in possession.
Yeah, Thomas to Dewsbury Hall. He's trying to bustle through a challenge there on the edge of the box. Then Donker wins it, hoofed away by Seiss. High ball to the halfway line. Ball flicked down there by Ricardo to Amati. Jimenez, again, he's been a non-factor, really, in this match. They said Patson Daka has been... just the game's passed him by. I think you could say the same about Raul Jimenez as well. His ball out towards Albrighton into substitute Maddison. Back now to Ricardo. Leicester dominating possession.
Well, they are. Well, Del Bosque was the first one, wasn't he, about 10, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, even, to introduce teams with no strikers, and it seems like it's something that's spreading now. Teams seem to do well even without a striker. Both sides have looked dangerous going forward without either of their two strikers really being
good
involved.
Challenge by Lookman. He gets the better of Kilman out on that left-hand side, trying to cut the ball back to the edge of the box, and Dendonker's there with a clearance, but Leicester will pick it up again. Thomas, can he keep it in? Just, but only to the benefit of Podence, who knocks it back, and the clearance comes in from Semedo. Headed down by Soyuncu. Now Maddison, little cushion header back from Tielemans. Maddison now advancing towards the edge of the box, shrugging off the challenge from Neves, who brings him down and gives away a free kick. Neves, hands on his head, but I think he did bring him down. It's a yellow card to the Portuguese.
Yeah, both him and Dendoncker, the two central midfielders, are on yellow cards now, as is the wide man Ait-Nouri. And I think both of us were surprised that Semedo didn't get the booking for deliberately trying to use his hand as the ball was going over his head for a throw. That's a silly challenge there from Neves, in a good position is for Leicester to try and shoot towards goal.
Yeah, this is a similar position to the one where Neves hit one for Wolves at the start of the second half, which went high, wide and Hansen, but you'd fancy there's a bit more quality available to Leicester here, with the cameras focusing in on James Maddison. He's obviously taken control of the situation, but Tielemans can also hit them from here. Tielemans has moved away, though. He's doing a bit of marshalling of the Leicester fake wall, or not fake wall, but the Leicester two-man barrier, which is there to try and block the eye line of goalkeeper Jose Sa. He's still lining up his wall. He's got 4 men in the Wolves barrier. There's 3 there for Leicester, who are trying to disrupt. Nobody behind the wall as a draft excluder, but I don't think this is one where you're going underneath the wall, because you're going to go underneath 2 walls for a start, and it's quite a long way out.
Yeah, well, Maddison, he's been on the field a few minutes, hasn't had a chance to do anything so far, but this looks like it's going to be his free kick.
In front of the Watching England assistant, Steve Holland. What can Maddison produce here with 14 minutes to go? His team down 2-1. Referee Pawson blows the whistle. Maddison steps up, hits it right-footed. It's over the wall, it's over the bar as well. Jose Sa was worried. In fact, he was so worried he got a flick on it.
I think he did, yes. Certainly the Leicester City players straight away claiming that there was a deflection. We'll see from the free kick. Does that come off the wall? Yes, it's off Saïs's head. And then just over Jose Sa, but the wall doing its job, and the keeper was in the right place as well.
Yeah, the flick came off Saïs's head, not Sa's glove, but it's the same outcome anyway. Corner to Leicester. Marty, Soyuncu and Albrighton just in a group of 3 on the penalty spot, as it's whipped in by Maddison towards the near post. Away it goes by Saïs, and he gets good distance on his header as well. Now there's a mistake on the halfway line by Thomas, and Wolves could make him pay here with Ait-Nouri flicking it inside to Jimenez. Jimenez looking for a forward pass, but he's got 3 Leicester players around him. He does find Ait-Nouri, who turns away from Soyuncu, plays it through the legs of Dewsbury Hall, back towards Jimenez, who's felled on the Neves, who's felled on the halfway line. Wolves have moved it wide left now, though, with one of their substitutes. Is this Hwang on the outside, back on his right foot, plays it back to Dendoncker. Now Wolves move it back from left to right. They lead 2-1 as they try and see out the game here. Into Podence. Podence trying to link up with Jimenez, but a good foot in there from Dewsbury Hall gets it back Leicester's way. Now Lookman brings it down. Challenged by Semedo. Back to Thomas it goes. Thomas feeds it inside to Lookman. Trying to wriggle away from Neves. He's gone back to Soyuncu. And Leicester will build from the back once more. Out to the right-hand side it goes. And Maddison. Backy plays it. Forced there by Ait-Nouri's pressure. And Soyuncu again will try and build over to the left-hand flank with Thomas. Now Dewsbury Hall on the half-turn, slips it to Tielemans. First-time ball, doesn't link up though with Iheanacho as Wolves break away again. Hwang carries it over the halfway line. He's got support coming on the outside from Ait-Nouri. Goes the other way instead to Jimenez. His pass finds Ait-Nouri, edge of the box, putting it into the penalty area for Hwang, who tries to deliver a cross, but it's blocked by Amati and picked up by Schmeichel.
Yeah, frustrated look there on Hwang's face, but I think it was a difficult task there because there were 2 Leicester City players right on him, so as soon as he tried to play it to Jimenez, it just deflected off them and went back through to Schmeichel.
Leicester try and come forward again here with Ricardo. Ricardo down the line. Albright, lovely touch from Maddison to get away from Dendoncker, and he now plays to Dewsbury Hall, edge of the penalty area. He's got a left foot, but he doesn't take the shot, goes wide to Lookman instead. Lookman in the box, trying to pick out a cross, and he delivers it straight into the breadbasket of Jose Sarr.
I'm with you there. I thought that there was enough scope there for Dewsbury Hall to try and put his laces through that one. He had enough time, wasn't really being closed down. Meanwhile, Pedro Neto's getting ready to come on here for Wolves.
Yeah, looks like more fresh legs up front for Wolves coming on in a second. There's the mistake from Mike Nouri. He's passed it straight to Pedro Neto, and that will be the opportunity for the change.
Yeah, and it's the goal scorer Podence. I would have had Jimenez possibly going off ahead of him just based on their performance, but it may well be they still want that big target man up there, so they're going to swap Pedro Neto here for Podence. Yeah,
it's an interesting tactical move this by Bruno Lage. He's got obviously the Arsenal game coming up as well on Thursday, but you think there'd be enough recovery time between a Sunday and Thursday fixture to allow Podence to finish the game if that was the best way to finish off, but he's gone a different way here.
Yeah, well, it's two games away from home in London coming up for Wolves. They're away to Arsenal in midweek, then they're away to West Ham next Sunday. Then they have games against, London sides, Watford almost a London side, and Palace as well coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, big matches in the top four race. There's a chance here for Leicester, edge of the box. Maddison tries to measure his shot and gets it all wrong, well wide.
Yeah, I thought the way he was setting himself, I thought he was going to try and lean back and try and put a bit of curl and hit it into the top corner, instead of which he just sort of dragged it and tried to hit it low, and it never really works out for James Maddison. Good work from Dewsbury Hall to pick out his teammate in the first place, and he could have looked for Iheanacho as well.
Yeah, he's a bit of a funny one, isn't he, Dewsbury Hall? I mean, I think he's had a decent game. Sometimes his first touch looks not Premier League standard, but he gets away with it. You know, he's relatively strong in possession. He does look up. He's a head-up player, and he does find a teammate there. Here's Raul Jimenez now for Wolves on the right foot, edge of the penalty area, but straight into the challenge of Thomas, who knocks it away to Dewsbury Hall. He plays it back. It's a risky ball, and he's managed to recover from his own error. And what's the referee given? Foul. Foul wasn't by Dewsbury Hall, it was by Thomas, but it gives Wolves a free kick nonetheless.
Does give Wolves a chance now to just keep the ball away from their own half, and just at a time when Leicester need to keep that momentum going that they've had for most of this second half, Wolves are just starting to see a little bit more possession in their half now.
Well, two players over the ball for Wolves on this set piece. Pedro Neto is one of them. He's got Ruben Neves up alongside him. Neves just rolling his socks up over his knees, which is often a sign that he's going to take the free kick. Leicester holding a line just a yard outside the penalty area. Now Neto's made a run away. One arm up. Ruben Neves to deliver. Puts it into the penalty area for Raul Jimenez, but it's headed away by Soyuncu. Drops on the edge of the box, and an attempt from Kilman is blocked at source. Leicester will try and burst clear, but then no nonsense hoof out of play from Semedo on the halfway line puts it out for a throw.
Yeah, it's almost a dying breed these days, that hoof from anywhere just to get it out, but on that occasion Semedo could see there was no benefit in trying to play it forward because all of his teammates would have been offside. We can once again see this strike from Podence. Clearly Jimenez is stood in an offside position, but this is the angle now. We can see that as Podence gets the ball, Jimenez is getting away, and he's nowhere near Schmeichel when that shot's made, so I don't believe that I think it was the right decision not to disallow the goal.
Yeah. Totally agree. I think, you can... Well, VAR can check things to the nth degree, and they might be able to find something wrong with that to the letter of the law, but no.
Well, just lip reading Craig Pawson there. He says, look, I'm not making the decision, because with offsides, of course, it's not a case of the on-field referee, it's what VAR tell him, and who knows, if Craig Pawson had been the VAR official today, he might have had a different view, but the goal was given, and Wolves are now pushing forward again.
Yeah, with Nouri down the left-hand side, he's up against three Leicester defenders, and one of those is Ricardo with an immaculate challenge to knock it away to Albright. Infield to Tielemans. Albright trying to burst past Hwang, who leaves a leg in there, but Albright's got clear of him and knocks it down the line. A little turn from Iheanacho. He falls over as he tries to get on his own flick on there, and Wolves have bodies back. Saiss makes the clearance via Jose Sarr up over the halfway line. I think Neto was offside there, but the ball's bounced Leicester's way, and now Maddison gets away from Neves. Maddison plays it square to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall waits, plays it left to Thomas. Three in the box to aim for. He's gone toward Lookman, who's set it back towards Thomas. Yard for a cross here, puts it in low to the near post. It's come to Albright, who gets it under, plays it back for Maddison, who strikes, and he's hit it wide.
Just gone wide there from Maddison, but Wolves now perhaps just starting to back off a little bit just at the crucial time. And we can see again as this ball was played in, there's two Wolves players missing that one. Brighton does well to get there first. And Maddison, head in his hands, he knows that was a good chance. A little bit of a bounce on the ball, tries to use that, and it really is a good effort, only just wide.
Yeah, it was into the Wolves fans behind the goal. Maddison knows how close that was. He's had 2 good chances now since coming on, James Maddison. He's not been able to get either of them on target. But there is some momentum for Leicester right now. They're trying to press here as Wolves take a short goal kick. Eventually it's cleared by Cody. Tielemans' header puts it out for a throw. Defeat for Leicester today would leave them in the bottom half of the Premier League table. Win for Wolves would keep them right in the mix for top 4. They go to 40 points, I think, wouldn't they, Wolves?
They would go to 40 points. They jump ahead of Spurs, who they beat last week, and they'll be 2 points behind Arsenal, poised perfectly for that game on Thursday.
That's right, and you mentioned the West Ham game that follows that. I mean, Wolves' fate in the potential top 4 fight could be decided in the next week, really, with those 2 games, both in London, as you say.
Big games that for Wolves. As far as Leicester, as I mentioned, they're away to Randers on Thursday to wrap up what should be a very foregone conclusion, having won 4-1 at home. And then they don't play next weekend because of their game against Chelsea being off with the Carabao Cup, but they do play against Burnley in a midweek game away from home, and then they're at home to Leeds.
Maddison, back in his own half, plays it to Amati and then gets it back, able to turn this time, threading it through towards Iheanacho. He knocks it back towards Ricardo. Laid back inside, Rodgers and Larger both making gesticulations to their players as they try and survive the tense final few minutes of this game. 5 to go as Lookman gets it on the left flank. He's got 2 Wolves players around. He turns brilliantly away from Semedo and wriggles behind. Now's a chance to put the ball into the near post, and Dewsbury Hall was in there, but it's cleared by Cody. Drops on the edge of the box and it doesn't fall to a blue shirt. Aït-Nouri can bring it away. Although he's going the wrong way at the moment. Or is it Hwang who's going the wrong way? He's been dispossessed by Ricardo.
Yeah, just a little bit just confused there, Hwang, trying to get rid of the ball, perhaps didn't want to clear it long and ended up losing it. Leicester still in possession.
Yeah, improvisation there from Ricardo doesn't come off and it's eventually slammed away. Wolves have gone into a sort of kick it anywhere will do mode now, haven't they? They know they're under big pressure here, trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead. Here's a change for Wolves, though, and they're going to bring on Marçal.
Yeah, Fernando Marçal is going to get a run out here. He initially was brought in as the left-sided defender. Didn't really make as much of an impact. Aït-Nouri was brought in the meantime, and he's struggled to get into the team since then. Had a few injury worries as well, but now it's Aït-Nouri who's down with an injury, it would appear.
Yeah, Aït-Nouri looks like he's been struggling the last couple of minutes, and maybe something's just stiffened up there. It seems like maybe a calf injury or a leg muscle injury, so it could just be cramp actually. They're trying to give him some fluids here to see him through.
Absolutely, and doesn't like whatever they've just given him there. He's got a real grimace on his face.
Poison, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the change has been made, so he doesn't have to drink any more of that. He can go off the field now, Aït-Nouri, and it is Fernando Marçal to replace him. Yeah,
so Aït-Nouri goes off after 87 minutes solid work, I would say. Can Leicester make some inroads here down the right side? Pereira's got past Marçal, who's brought him down. It should be a free kick to Leicester, this, and it is. And Marçal, having just come onto the field, might be yellow carded.
Is this going to be one of the quickest yellow cards ever if that's the case? Pereira's unhappy there. I think he's trying to show the referee that it might be a split lip there. That's silly from Marçal. There's never any there's never any chance of him winning the ball there. And I think he has got away without getting a booking.
Bit of leniency from Craig Pawson there. But Pereira is back to his feet and just dabbing at his nose as he trots towards his position on the edge of the box. So can Leicester finally get a set piece right? They've wasted so many opportunities to get quality into the Wolves penalty area. Now with 2 minutes to go, it's imperative they get this right. So Soyuncu, Amati, and they're all up there. And Didi's of course gone off. So not so much height on the pitch now for Leicester. Maybe Maddison's got something else up his sleeve. He addresses the ball, hits it in right footed towards the near post, doesn't beat the first man though, it's nodded away, drops on the edge of the box, Tielemans strikes from range, takes a deflection, but it was a block from Cody that comes back towards Maddison on the right. Maddison now up against the defender, Neto, trying to twist away from him, puts it back to Albrighton, his cross is blocked. Up in the air it goes, Albrighton gives Neto a nudge, Neto is strong though, he wins the ball back briefly, but Ricardo comes in now, and then Hwang makes the challenge that gets Wolves back on the front foot. Here's Pedro Neto. Down the line to Jimenez. Challenged by Dewsbury Hall, who's there to fight the fires, but Wolves have got the ball. Then they've won a foul. Foul by Tielemans, free kick to Wolves with about a minute on the clock.
Minute on the clock, plus some injury time. Tielemans there, a bit frustrated that this Wolves player is down, showing that he's been very badly injured. But of course, they're no different to any other team. Every side will try and wind the clock down when they're ahead. As Brendan Rodgers just trying to get some further instructions out to his players here as Jimenez is still down.
Realistically, can Wolves get top 4 this season?
I think it's a big ask. I mean, they're certainly looking at the sides ahead of them. I mean, they've beaten Spurs away in the last week. They play away at Arsenal and West Ham in the next week. So I suppose
they beat Manchester United away.
Absolutely, yeah. And I suppose if you were to ask me this same question this time next weekend, I'd probably be able to give you a much better answer. But if I was to stick my neck out now, I'd say that they're probably one of the outsiders. But you certainly wouldn't rule it out.
I'm not going to ask you next week, Paul, because I'll know the answer myself by next week. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's one of those which could easily go either way. Wolves have a good week. They are right in the top 4 mix. I mean, they are anyway, but if they have a bad week, then it's pretty much all over them, isn't it? As a challenge comes in there, right on the byline from Semedo. Is that a corner to Leicester again?
I think it has been given as a corner kick just as we tick over into injury time, and there'll be 4 minutes of it.
Yeah, and Maddison trots over to take it from that Leicester left-hand side, so it's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery. The last one, well, it was a free kick. His last one didn't beat the first man, so he's got to get things right here. With time ticking away. We're into stoppage time, 4 minutes of it to be played. Albrighton, Amati, Soyuncu all making their moves. It goes into the near post. Dewsbury Hall was up for Leicester, but it's away by Wolves, and Marcal makes a header that might get Wolves onto the counter-attack with Neto. He looks up, they're streaking through if he gets the ball right. He's played it wrong, though. Too close to Ricardo, and he makes a good defensive header to Soyuncu, who goes back to his keeper. But they were streaming forward there, Wolves, a better ball, and surely they would have just iced the game there, but still Leicester have a chance. They're fighting for it in midfield. It's congested, but Dewsbury Hall wins it briefly before it's flicked away by Dendoncker. Hwang brings it down, gets it out of his feet, tries to run. Ricardo makes a good challenge, Ricardo, but apparently he's fouled his man. I thought he timed that one, but the referee disagrees and gives the yellow card to the Portuguese.
Yeah, another yellow card in this game. They've been stacking up here, and Ricardo, as you said, looks like he was winning the ball there. We'll just see from this replay as Hwang takes it down, does really well to take it down in the air. And there's none of the ball. It's just the way that he slid across.
Yeah.
There was intent there from Ricardo to try and win the ball, but it's his 3rd yellow card of the season.
Yeah. So Hwang very intelligently there, just trying to shield the ball with his body, and as Ricardo makes that challenge, Hwang's foot is in front of it, so he wins the free kick. So nervous times at Molineux. Our Wolves are going to... there's a quick free kick taken here by Wolves, but it's a poor one, and Leicester were on it quickly. I'm not sure what they were doing there, Wolves, but Leicester have got it back via Schmeichel to Thomas, and he plays it inside to Dewsbury Hall. Where are Wolves now? They're all back deep in defensive positions, and it allows Leicester to build some momentum as they come forward. Now Tielemans, lovely ball over the top. It's going to just go out of play before Lookman can get there. Lookman turns, shrugs, looks at Tielemans, and then eventually sticks his thumb up and doesn't complain about the ball, but maybe Lookman was looking for a run inside, wasn't he?
Absolutely. His facial expression tells me that he still isn't happy with that ball to him. It's just he didn't want to have an absolute row across the field as it looks as though Daniel Podence's goal is going to be the winner today.
Yeah, he's got the TV company's Man of the Match award. I mean, I think he's had a good game. I think there's been a few candidates as Wolves come away with it now. Mistake there by Tielemans, and Neves is bursting clear. Neves, bundle of energy, knocks it wide to the right. Neto is after it, but Soyuncu had the yardage on him there and covers across, and now comes away with the ball for Leicester. Can they mount one last attack, one last challenge to this Wolves lead? With Maddison slipping it to Dewsbury Hall. He turns away from Kilman, plays it back out to the left-hand side. The dangerous Lookman gets it now. He's up against Semedo with Maddison trying to help out. Now it's to Maddison. Is he onside? Yes, he is. In on his right foot. Back to Lookman. Can they fashion a shot? Tries a delicate ball there through the eye of a needle, and it doesn't reach its man, and it's away by Wolves.
Yeah, cleared back up towards the halfway line where Schmeichel's come all the way out to the halfway line just to try and speed things up. He plays a quick diagonal ball over, looking towards the left-hand side. There may be a free kick here. No free kick, says the referee, but here's a chance for Thomas still.
Yeah, Thomas puts a ball in, headed away near post by Cody. Drops on the edge to Tielemans, who unleashes one. Great save, Jose Sarr. Turns it behind for a corner.
Well, that all stemmed from Raul Jimenez seemingly winning the ball, then losing it to Luke Thomas when it seemed like he was the favourite. Ball put in, headed away by Cody, and Tielemans does put his foot through that. It was always quite close to Jose Sarr, who palms it away for a corner, and Schmeichel is up for this one.
Yeah, they've sent the goalkeeper up with his snood on, and can he cause some mayhem in that Wolves penalty area? Can they get the delivery right for a set piece for once? He's gone near post, Schmeichel. In it comes from Maddison. Into the penalty area, up in the air from Marcel. Schmeichel's going for the next ball. Punched away by Jose Sarr. Schmeichel left on the deck there, but again, the cross might come in here from Maddison, who puts it in left-footed. It's blocked by Semedo, and now Wolves can break, and Schmeichel's in big trouble. Wolves breaking here with 3 against 3, and Schmeichel's not one of the Leicester 3. Surely they can get this one right, Wolves, and kill the game off now, as it's... Coming forward here is Pedro Neto with a strike from range, and he's put it wide of target.
Yeah, it's very selfish from Pedro Neto. It won't matter because the game's going to finish now anyway.
Yeah, all over at Molineux. It's finished. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Leicester City 1. Wolves now very much in the hunt for 4th place.